It had the ability to heal the sick and injured.
Was Gothel hanging around the cliff just waiting for this flower to grow?
She was running out of time, and that's when people usually start to look for a miracle. Or in this case, a magic golden flower.
So Gothel found this flower immediately after it grew and hoarded its powers all to herself for centuries. How could anybody know of its powers?
All she had to do was sing a special song.
Flower, gleam and glow.
How did Gothel know the song that was needed for the magic to work? Did sheet music fall with a drop of sun?
We found it!
But how did you even know what you were looking for?
I'll give you a hint. That's Rapunzel.
I don't think you quite understand the concept of a hint.
Flower, gleam and glow.
She knew the magic would be latched to Rapunzel's hair. There's so much in these first few minutes that could really use some explaining.
Make the clock ring.
So when the hair has been cut from Rapunzel, it no longer works, yet removing the flower from the plant had no effect on it.
And just like that, gone.
The royal guards are terrible at their job.
The kingdom searched and searched, but they could not find the princess.
A hidden tower at the base of a waterfall? No one had ever followed the river?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Since Rapunzel is originally a German tale, I'm going to assume this movie takes place there or in some surrounding country. That said, where exactly did Rapunzel get a chameleon for a pet? Botany, geology, cooking. Quite the interesting collection. I understand how cooking could be useful for her. Sure, there are houseplants, but nothing you need a botany book for. But geology? A, B, C, F, Z, M, N, L, O, G. Given the clarity in this handwriting, Rapunzel should have known her alphabet better when she painted this. My 2-year-old can't even write, but she knows her ABCs. 9 guards on duty and not a single one is looking towards the crown itself? If the king had competent guards, this entire movie could have been avoided.
I know. Come on, don't let her see you.
Wait, Gothel doesn't even know about Pascal? Now I'm really confused how she got a chameleon for a pet. Given how important this hair is to you, I'm rather surprised to see how cavalier you are with it, and that you would use it as an elevator. Also, how many years did Gothel have to climb the stairs to this tower before Rapunzel's hair was long enough for this? And to make matters worse, for the first few years, Gothel would have needed to carry her at least part, if not the entire way up.
That's the thing. I've charted stars, and they're always constant.
You've charted stars? I suppose if you had a book on astronomy, I could understand this. But, as you've pointed out, you only have these 3 books. So how exactly did you learn to do this?
They appear every year on my birthday, Mother. Only on my birthday.
You didn't tell Rapunzel her birthday was a different date? Why did you even bother teaching her what birthdays are? The king and queen lit a lantern when she was born, and since they continue to do it to this day, I'm betting they haven't missed a year. Rapunzel would have needed to be at least a few years old to be able to learn her birthday, and by then you would have seen these lanterns go off every year on the same date. Once again, this movie only being driven by incompetence.
I love you very much, dear.
I love you more.
I love you most.
I have to give credit to the writers in that every time Gothel shows real affection towards Rapunzel, it's actually directed to her hair.
No. This is bad. This is very, very bad. This is really bad.
It would seem these guys have been on the constant run since their heist, but somehow the Wanda posters have already been made and posted ahead of them. Maximus and Flynn fall for roughly 10 seconds. At the rate of 9.8 meters per second squared, the two of them would have fallen approximately 1,607 feet, yet they somehow survive.
Alone at last.
I have a feeling 2 concussions within a minute from a cast iron pan to the head would kill you.
I have a big surprise! Oh, I bet my surprise is bigger! I brought back parsnips. I'm going to make hazelnut soup for dinner. Your favorite surprise!
Your big surprise is hazelnut soup? I think you may have just been a bit overconfident that your surprise was bigger.
You are not leaving this tower! Ever!
Great. Now I'm the bad guy.
18 years too late for that statement.
Well, that is a very long trip, Rapunzel. Almost 3 days' time.
Wait, she's gone on trips that can last days? And not once have you ever tried to leave? What kind of teenager doesn't rebel and even go outside for a bit?
Hi. How you doing? The name's Flynn Rider.
You have been knocked unconscious twice, tied up to a chair with hair, and you still think you might be able to charm your way out of this?
Do you know what these are?
You mean the lantern thing they do for the princess?
Blonde-haired girl who bears a striking resemblance to the lost princess wants to see the lanterns lit for the princess doesn't strike up any curiosity? If you work this out, it could certainly give you some leverage with regards to your freedom. Holy pigeon toe.
Mother would be so furious. But that's okay. I mean, what she doesn't know won't kill her. right?
Okay, Ryder, don't forget about this when you eventually fall for the girl.
What is it going to take for me to get my satchel back?
She's already told you exactly what it's going to take.
You should know that this is the strangest thing I've ever done!
That dam was clearly built for a reason. Way to go, Maximus. Some town or even perhaps the kingdom itself is now screwed so you could have a bridge. And don't give me this, well, he's only a horse, he wouldn't know any better line. He was smart enough to know about the trapdoor activated by a beer tap.
I have magic hair that glows when I sing.
This took you entirely too long to remember.
I'll kill him.
Where are the Stabbington brothers coming from? We see them exit a tunnel here, which is oddly a different tunnel than the one used by Eugene and Rapunzel. So how can this be the actual end of the tunnel?
That's why I never left and...
You never left that tower.
The tower was too difficult to say?
Likes you please, Rapunzel, that's demented.
I know you've always passively insulted her, but you really thought these direct insults were going to work?
This is why he's here. Don't let him deceive you. Give it to him what you see.
I will.
The Stabbington brothers really entrusted this with Gothel? I would think after all they've been through so far, they'd never let this out of their sight, much less let Gothel give it to Rapunzel.
Patience, boys. All good things to those who wait.
But why? What is to be gained by waiting? Eugene, Rapunzel, and the crown all in one place and completely alone. It's the perfect time to get them.
Sit.
What?
Couldn't have asked it better myself, Eugene.
And it's also my birthday.
Oh, come on, Eugene. She just said it's her birthday. You still haven't made the connection. What do you think the chances are of a blonde-haired girl who was basically held captive in a tower by her mother and so desperately wants to see the floating lights on her birthday isn't the missing princess? The animators of this film have said Rapunzel's hair was 70 feet long. There is no way these girls managed to tie all that hair up into a short length. And even if they did, that hair would weigh 80 pounds. Sure, there is the question of her dragging around that much weight all the time, but to now have all that weight hanging from the back of her head, there was no way her neck would support it. Oh, good thing you were both singing the same song in your heads. Otherwise, this would have been an awkward moment.
I was starting to think you ran off with the crown and left me.
He did. See for yourself.
Even if he was to trade her for the crown, which he already had in his possession anyway, you really think the man wanted for the theft of the crown would willingly sail back to the castle with the crown in hand? I think we're onto something. There is no way she remembers this, but either way, it has taken her too long to figure this out.
Why do I need to keep my knees apart?
Well, this was sure well planned. I'm willing to bet there are no scientists or mathematicians in the group, so for this to work as well as it did, there must have been some trial and error. I'm feeling the same disbelief as you. You couldn't have waited to cut her hair until after she healed you?
What have you done?
I get that Rapunzel's magic hair has kept her young and healthy all these years, but I don't see why cutting it would instantly age her like this. See what I meant about leverage?
The party lasted an entire week, and honestly, I don't remember most of it.
The woman you now love has returned home to her parents who happen to be king and queen, and you think drinking all week to the point of blacking out is a good way to impress them? Sure, returning her home after all these years is more than enough to make up for your crime. But if you want them to let you marry her, you probably should have thought things through better.
I finally said yes.
Eugene.
You really want me to believe Rapunzel was there in the background and didn't once feel the need to correct him on anything for almost an hour and a half? Not even on the parts where Eugene wasn't even there? Now, what happens after the fuel for the lanterns is gone? I know, Maximus and Eugene fell for over a quarter of a mile and survived, so why wouldn't this guy?